And we're live. Welcome to the Writer's Life, the place where you get the sight, sound, smells, tastes of my particular writer's life and where you get the truth about the writer's life. Subscribe, punch that like button, and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on one exciting video. So why am I holding this little rock? Actually, I shouldn't be holding this rock at all because I kind of absconded with it illegally. I got it in Jerusalem a few years ago while researching one of my Chase Baker books, and I took it from the top of what I believe is Skull Mountain, or some people say Golgotha, but actually Golgotha means the top of a mountain. Anyway, there's like a rock formation there that looks just like a skull, and I think that's where Jesus Christ was crucified. And it's like right on the Damascus Road, right across the street from the Damascus Gate. Ooh, I got a piece of hair in my mouth. And it's, maybe, I don't know, like not even a quarter of a mile away from the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is the traditional site of Jesus' crucifixion. But I believe it's this other place. Anyway, so I couldn't help but take a piece of rock from it because, like Jesus could have stepped on this or whatever. Anyway, it's kind of a holy rock, right? So anyway, what's the point of all this? All right, so I was listening to Joe Rogan the other day, and he had a guest on whom I like a lot. I respect him a lot. Another writer, Sebastian Junger. He wrote The Perfect Storm. Remember that? About 20 years ago. And it became a huge movie with George Clooney and Marky Mark and all that stuff. And Marky Mark goes down with the boat. Oops, I shouldn't say that, but that's giving things away. So anyway, you've probably all seen it anyway. But anyway, I really respect Sebastian Junger. He's like one of the last breed of like famous freelance journalists. He's really made a name for himself by putting his ass on the line and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, he was talking to Joe about how he recently, I think the video I watched was almost a year old, maybe 9 months old. So maybe you guys know about some of this. Anyway, but apparently he had a near-death experience. He had had near-death experience like the year before that. Anyway, is what I'm trying to say, and it was caused by like just like a vein, or I think even a capillary in his pancreas had burst. And like, go figure, like he was feeling normal. He runs every day and lifts, and doesn't drink. It leads this really healthy lifestyle. He's got, even at 60 years old, he's got like a 4-year-old little girl and like a 6-year-old little girl. And his stomach, his because of the burst blood vessel, his insides, his gut, started filling with blood. And so his wife called the EMTs, and they put him in the ambulance, and the hospital's an hour away. So he was losing all of his blood, but it was all going inside. So he lost, like on the way to the hospital, almost 95% of his blood supply, all inside of him. Like, can you imagine that? And he was dying. He didn't realize he was dying, but he was near death. And so he suddenly goes into this like near-death experience. He said he found himself like frighteningly in a really dark place over a really dark pit that was like endless, like really, and in not a nice place. And then he suddenly felt his father dead. His father has passed away a long time ago, and he felt his father's presence, and his father was telling him to hang in there, and don't go into that pit. Right? And so then suddenly, like, Sebastian Junger wakes up like a day later or something in the hospital, and there's wires all over him and tubes and whatever. And the nurse says to him, "Well, we almost lost you. You were this close to dying." And he's like, "I was?" And then it would all started making sense to him, this vision of this pit, and and speaking to his father, and he said, now I'm thinking about writing a book about this, and he was going to call it Pulse. And the reason being, he's like, the human body is made up of so many different components, like there's a million and one things that could go wrong on a daily basis. It's a miracle that we make it even through a single day, and I understand that. But then he said something that kind of made sense to me. Somebody's spamming me. I gotta hit this. Stop spamming me. There's no reason you should be spamming me. Don't you hate this? Potential spam. Anyway, I've done a little research on like near-death experiences and stuff like that, and you almost always see like a dead family relative, and they kind of come and guide you a little bit or whatever. That's normal. Could be just a lack of oxygen in your brain or something like that, or it could be something else. It could be real. But anybody who believes in God, and this is not me being a holy roller. I don't even go to church. I should, but I'm a believer, right? And I send my prayers and all that sort of stuff. And the reason I don't go to church is just because I'm lazy. So anybody that's like, well, I'm agnostic and I just, I don't believe in that. No, you're just lazy. You'd rather hang around on Sunday and drink coffee or I'd rather fish or something like that. I'm just lazy. But anyway, but if you're usually the near-death experiences that believers face is usually a bright light, and it's welcoming, and they want to go to the light. Like they're finished with the human life. They want to go live that new life. And it's supposed to be soothing. They feel love. They feel like a presence of God and all that sort of stuff. And I knew when he was talking about when Sebastian Junger was talking about his experience, the dark pit, the darkness, the fear, the emptiness, I knew damn well he was talking about hell. And okay, maybe you guys think I'm out there with this one, but I've done some research on this, and there are people who were disbelievers and who just lived an awful life and who were just kind of dicks all around, and they've had near-death experiences, and they've experienced that before, like just a dark, deep pit of nothingness. And I was surprised that Joe Rogan didn't actually confront Sebastian Junger with this, because Rogan's pretty sharp. He's pretty sharp, and he's extremely well read, and I knew he was thinking that in his head, but he didn't want to ask him. He didn't want to ask his guest. I would have said, well, don't you think that pit represented hell? But they skipped over it entirely. Anyway, I that's what I believe. I believe Sebastian Junger had a near-death experience, and he was on his way to hell. I'm not kidding. And I know I write Chase Baker stories and the occult and all that sort of stuff. And there's religious biblical artifacts in it and stuff like that. It's fascinating for me. But in my opinion, there is heaven and there is hell. So anyway, that's my spiel for today. Like I said, it's not a holy roller spiel. It's just my interpretation of what this writer had to say about it, his near-death experience. All right, listen, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday already. Wow. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Ciao, ciao.